Hi everyone and welcome to episode 10 of Relegation Rescue at Eibar with me, the United City FM. Now this particular series has a bit of a problem that we could almost just fade to nothingness at this point. It could go out with a bit of a whimper. We've been on a really bad run of form. Unless we can turn it around, it's going to be a little bit of a damp squib as an ending really. But having said that, today is really important. If we win today's match against Elche, then ultimately we are mathematically certain of rescuing Eibar from relegation. So this could be the day. Let's see how we get on. It really has been a very poor run of form. If we go into the fixture list, you'll see down the bottom here, after a really good run of form through March and into early April, we came up against Real Madrid at this point, lost the game 2-1, and then forgot how to score goals. 3 games in a row, we lost 1-0, 1-0 and 4-0 against Sevilla, San Sebastian and Valencia. In the last outing, we came up against Athletic Bilbao, got a 1-1 draw, so that was a little bit more positive. Today we play Elche. Now they're sitting below us in the table, so it's a decent team for us to be playing at this point. And it is true that if we do get a win today, then we will absolutely 100% stave off relegation. So let's just go into this page. This gives you a clearer picture. You can just about see where we are in 15th position. Now, 18th position is Huesca. They've played 35 games, and so have we. So we've both got 3 games left of the season, which is a maximum of 9 points. If we win our game today, then we will go 10 points clear of them with their 3 games left. So that's how we can stave off relegation today. Ultimately, if we don't win, if we get a draw, it is still possible we could get dragged down. I don't think it'll happen, but it is still possible. So Elche are our opponents. They're in 19th position, so a good team for us to be playing. But ultimately, if we go into the tactics page, we'll see that this 4-4-2 has worked very nicely for us. You've seen that in the April kind of period of play where we had a good couple of results, some really amazing results to be fair. But what I would say is the down point of this setup for this season that I found is the minute you get injuries and take anybody out of the first team 11 that does work seemingly very well, then we really struggle. The backup rotating options are not good enough. And if I were to stay on at the club, which I'm not going to be doing, but if I were, I'd have to clear out most of the reserve 11, the rotating 11, and try and bring in some new players that would then boost up the first team and drop some of the first team squad into that rotating 11 just to boost the squad a little bit. But today we've got issues. We've got 4 players out. We've got Oliveira, Rodriguez, Enrique and Kike all coming out of our first team 11. And the minute you do that, we really struggle. And that's been the big downfall this season for those last few matches. So for today's match against Elche, trying to absolutely get to the point where it's mathematically impossible for us to get relegated and therefore have rescued Eibar from it, we're going to put out Dimitrovic in goal, Arbilla at right back, Suarez at left back, Inguez and Bigas in central defence, Alvarez and Atienza in central midfield, Pedro Leon on the right, Inui on the left, and Purbet and Kike up top, with a bench of pretty much everybody else that's fit. So let's get into today's game and see what happens. So because of the importance of a win, I have absolutely pumped the fist and said to the players we can secure our survival with 1 more win. I'm expecting nothing less from today's match. We'll have to see how we get on. Now, obviously, we're away from home, but we're away from home against a lower level opposition in the league to us in Elche. So hopefully that goes in our favour. We'll have to wait and see. Am I confident though? Not really, if I'm totally honest. I think, as I've said in the early part of this particular episode, the reserve setup here after the first team 11 is not good enough, and we've had to put a few of them in today, and so that just upsets the balance of the side a little bit, and ultimately it would take quite a lot of work, I think, to potentially change that about this club. probably at least a couple of decent transfer windows, but that's for somebody else to figure out. I won't be doing that on this particular occasion. So we'll see how we get on. I just want to be competitive, get a few strikes at goal, maybe get a couple of goals would be good, and just prove that maybe this team is still more than capable. We'll see how we go. So it's a free kick for us in the sort of defensive area, biggest on the ball, into central midfield, nicely through to Inoue, and through on goal. And there we go, 13 minutes in. Takashi Inoue gets on the ball down the left-hand side of the penalty box with a lovely through ball and puts it underneath the goalkeeper for a good 1-0 lead. And it's Purbet that drops in from that striking position just to get involved in the play and puts a lovely through ball in. And Inoue makes no mistakes. And where have they been for the last couple of matches when it's been such a struggle to score? But we will take it here. It was our first shot at goal. Elche have already had 5 shots at goal, but none on target. So you can see with their possession being higher as well, they're kind of controlling the game in a lot of ways. But it's all about what you do in front of goal. And so far, we've been able to convert the chance that we've had. And let's see what they do on this particular occasion. They're working down the right-hand side, sweeping ball in, and they have indeed found an equaliser. At 24 minutes on the clock, Lucas gets on the end of a real good sweeping cross in. It was quite a high looping cross to this near post as we look at it, but it's been disallowed from an offside position, I guess. Yes, it is offside. Only just, and they were a little bit unlucky there, I would suggest. I think that they had our number on that occasion and were just a little bit unfortunate, but I will happily take it at this point. I will take anything that we can get just to get us over that line of safety. It's been quite a journey with Eibar. It started off average, a little bit up and down, but we had that middle patch where we beat Barcelona, for example, which was just ridiculous in every possible positive way that I can imagine. And it was that kind of result that ultimately led us to move away from that relegation zone originally. And I thought we were on a real high trajectory to going higher up the table, but it's completely stalled. And now it's about limping across the line, really, and just getting the job done. So we've reached half-time. We're 1-0 up. You can see that in terms of possession and in terms of chances created, they've absolutely dominated us. 14 shots at goal for them, 5 on target, 3 and 3 for us. So our conversion rate is very high, but our strikes at goal, not so much. We've got that 1 goal, yet it's Elche who have got the higher XG rating, the expected goals of the game rating. So ultimately, with their 62% of possession, they are in control of a lot of this game, and we're going to have our wits about us to continue to be able to hold on to this particular win. So what are we going to do here? I think we are going to continue to pump the fist like we did at the beginning of the match and just keep them moving forward and keep them focused. This is a big match for us, even bigger for the supporters. Give a good performance. And I think that's worth it. Just put the pressure on them a little bit. And when we come out, we will fire them up for this second half. Just see if we can keep them focused on doing all the right things and not making silly errors. If we can come out of the game having not caused our own downfall from silly passes or etc., then I think we'll be doing okay. Almost had a chance there, didn't we, really? The goalkeeper went early. The ball was then found its way into the 6-yard box, but one of the defenders got there first and cleared it. So good defending for them in the end, but we almost got through. And now here's the chance again from Elche, working down the left-hand side. Cross comes in, and they missed the opportunity the first time round, and the second time round they hit the woodwork and the frame of the goal. The post came to our rescue a little bit, and again we breathe a bit of a sigh of relief. And again, all the statistics suggest that Elche are pushing at the door and are going to knock it down at some point. And there you go. It was coming. It's been coming for a long time. Corner kick on this near post, near side, should I say, put to the far post, and a very good finish on that back post. It was a really good volleyed shot, wasn't it? Really good. Some fantastic control there. And they do, unfortunately, get back into this match. And it's been coming for a long time. So we're going to pause the match there at 62 minutes on the clock. We're going to have to make a couple of personnel changes and see if we can get some better performances out of this team. Pedro Leon out on his feet down the right-hand side. So we are going to have to bring on Gil and play him slightly out of position, I would suggest. So instead of the winger, we're going to make him an inverted winger on attack down that side. And that should encourage him onto his more natural foot from the right-hand side. So we'll do that. Kike not having a good game at all. So Marquez will come in for him in the striking position. And we've got one more that we can make. And let's see if we can secure it up at the back a little bit. Inguez not having the best of games, so we're going to put Burgos on instead and just allow him to play as a central defender at the back there. And those are the changes we can make. We are also going to change the mentality. We're going to come out and go attacking. We might as well give it a go. We've got 3 games left, well, 2 and a bit games now. Might as well see if we can finally get a couple of goals by it being a bit more attacking, a bit more free-spirited. So let's see if that works. It's a throw-in for us, but it's down in our left fullback position. So we've got quite a long distance to cover up the pitch. And there is what I've been talking about. Mistakes on the ball, giving it away cheaply. And can they make us pay for it? On that occasion, they don't, but they do win the ball back again. And it is just looking a little bit frayed round the edges again, this particular performance. And again, it's Elche working down the right-hand side. They've got an overload there, and it paid off for them. 3 players down on that right-hand side eventually found the space to get the cross in. They put the ball into the 6-yard box, and the attacking player gets there ahead of the defender again. And we go 2-1 down, unfortunately. And it looks like we are absolutely going out of this series with a complete and utter whimper. Unless I can get all of our 11 back on the pitch, which I don't think I'm going to be able to do in the time that we've got, then it really is a big problem. 72 minutes on the clock. We've still got just around 20 minutes to play. There is still possibilities and options here for us to get a couple of chances at goal, I hope. But it's drifting away again. We've only had, I think, 1 shot in this second half, and that's really not good enough. So let's pause the game. We've got 5 minutes to play. We might as well go and do something else because it's really not working. So let's elongate the match, the pitch out so we can see what's going on. I think what we're going to have to do is just force a few people to play up top. And then basically we're going to have to try and go long ball and see what happens. So we're going to play Marquez through the middle more, and we'll put Inoue alongside him, having already scored a goal today. So we'll bring Brian Gill just behind them. And then we are going to go away from our wing play into route 1. And we're going to go very attacking. And we're just going to see how we go. And hopefully we can find a route through to have a couple of chances, which have been very few and far between on this particular occasion. But those are the situations that we've been dealing with for the last few games, really. As I say, it's just not the same without that starting 11. And the time is ticking away really quickly. We're not going to get a single look in. And again, we go down, and we go down in this game to a team that are below us in the league. And that is really not good enough. It's so noticeable that this second 11 is just not good enough. It really isn't. Anyway, it's just one of those things. We haven't been able to do enough in the transfer market to clear out half a squad. So that's just one of those things. We're going to throw the water bottle at them because they are below us in the league. And I'm not happy about it. So we're going to bring them into training tomorrow and all that stuff. They seem demotivated. To be honest, at this point, I don't really care. They can seem demotivated if they like. It all becomes about what happens in other games around us all of a sudden. And the likes of Huesca, who have dropped a position because Elche have jumped ahead of them on goal difference, or on head-to-head, whichever way it comes out. But Huesca are still the ones that could potentially drag us down towards that relegation zone, although Vigo and Levante would also have to make way for us as well. So I think we're going to be okay. But it's not really the end of the series that I'm looking for, is it really? So we'll come out of the game. We'll go back into the news feed. Burgos wants to discuss club matters. Okay, I really don't care. There's not much I can do with it all now. 2 games left to play. We've got Alaves away from the episodes that I will go and play, and then up. And the final game of the season is Valladolid. And if we all remember back to our very, very first game in charge of Eibar, it was a cup match that I played, and we got beat and knocked out of the cup by Valladolid. So it's a chance to get some our own back on that final day of the season, potentially, for that particular result. But can we just win a couple of matches would be good. Get a point or 2 would be great. Just to continue our march away from that relegation zone would be fantastic. I don't know whether it's coming or not, but there we go. It's almost done. We've got 1 more episode to go. So join me in the last one. We'll see where we actually end up. I think we will rescue this lot from relegation. I don't think we will get sucked all the way back in. But boy, has it been tough work in the last few matches getting through to the end of this season. Anyway, that's going to do it for today. Thank you for joining me. Really appreciate it. Always really appreciate your company. Hope you're doing fantastic out there. If you are not part of the wider United City community, then remember to subscribe to the channel so you get to catch up on all the episodes that are coming out. You can always go to my Twitter and my Discord and become a bigger part of the community there and get involved in the conversation. Don't forget, I'm also on twitch.tv/the United City FM every weekday afternoon, 3 till 5 p.m. UK time. So come and find me over there. We're doing AC Milan over there at the moment. But until next time, thank you for joining me. Really appreciate it. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you very soon. Bye for now.